Today we're going to talk about blues chords. You can play the blues with triads like we've talked about. Triads are just 3-note chords. But to add a little color, what we do is we can learn some 7th chords. And basically 7th chords, you can play any without, you don't need to ever really need the 7th chord, major or minor 7th chords or dominant 7th chords. They just add color. They're in addition to, if you want to add it. All the 7th chord really is you have your root and your 5th and your root. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2nd root, which is an octave up, and I'm going to take it down a whole step, 2 frets. That's going to give us what's called a flat 7. So a flat 7 is just an octave up, down 2 frets. So here's an E, there's your D natural. That's an E7 chord. A. So there's my octave up A, and go down a whole step. That's an A7. D, here's D. I'm going to take, here's my D, up an octave, D. Move that down to a C natural. D7. Take C, down to a B flat, C7. Another one is, here's my B chord, also played like this because I have root, 3rd, there's my flat 7, A natural, B again, and then there's my 5th. That's a B7 chord. Now in the blues, what we also do a lot of the time, and we do this in jazz too, is we'll add a 9th. There's our 9th. B, if you go up through an octave, B, the next note is a C sharp. We call that that's a B9 chord. You'll see that a lot. C9, D9. Now all of these shapes, we just bar them when we come up. So that's G7, and that's just this shape. There's A7, but I slide that up to here. That's C7, D7, E7. So those are basically the 7th chords. In addition, what we'll see a lot, the minor chords will become minor 7 chords, and it's the same concept. It's a minor chord that you're making a minor 7 chord, whereas a major chord becomes a dominant 7 chord. A minor chord becomes a minor 7th chord. You're doing the same thing. Here's my root. I'm going up an octave. I'm going to take this note. I'm going to bring it down a whole step. Now it's minor 7 because I've added a flat 7 on top here. E, F sharp. That's an E. Minor 7. A minor 7, B minor 7, F minor 7. Another chord that is used from time to time is the diminished chord. Diminished chords are basically stacked minor thirds. So minor third. Sounds like. And the nice thing about diminished chords is that all I have to do is take this shape up and I slide it up to the next 3 and I have the exact same chord. It's taking the notes and it's reshuffling them and it's the exact same chord. Here I am again. This is the exact same chord as that is. These are all the same chords. If you want to play it on this string, this is an F sharp diminished, but now I have to skip a fret because it's all tucked within 2 frets here. I'm playing these 3. I'm not playing that, and I'm playing that right there. And then if I want to start the diminished chord up here, if it's E, E diminished, that's the shape. And again, because it's tucked into 2 frets, I have to skip a fret. These are all the same chords. So those are diminished chords. They're used a lot in passing. Another chord that's important to know about is the augmented chords. What's just the opposite of diminished chords, which are stacked minor thirds. Augmented chords are stacked major thirds. And what you'll often hear is, if you've ever heard of somebody refer to a whole tone scale, which is no half steps. It's all whole steps and gets you all the way back up the octave. And that's played over an augmented chord. So an augmented chord sounds like this. And again, it's just because it's even, because it's just like the diminished chord, which is stacked minor thirds, it's symmetrical, and you can repeat the chord over and over again. It just inverts itself. So if I skip a fret, these are all the exact same chords. If I'm playing it on this, starting on the lowest string, because it fits into 4 frets, I don't have to skip a fret. If I'm playing it down here, it looks like this. I have to skip a fret here because it's fit into 3, so I have to skip over. Augmented chords are used a lot in passing. So this would be, there's something called a line cliche. I'm going to play a line cliche in C. James Bond.